I'm just gonna do early recap. It's the next day, believe me or not. I watched during the beginning of the movie when me and Amno before I watched the FNAF 2, because they have like the ads. There was this one trailer called Obsession, and I was like, ooh. And then Abnel called out like, look, the movie's starting, which it wasn't, because it was after the fact that like, welcome to Regal, enjoy the okay, and then they played Obsession in the trailer, but it wasn't. No, it wasn't FNAF. It was Obsession, which is from That's a Bad Idea. And then I went to their YouTube channel where I searched it up, like, wow, oh, okay. They're like YouTubers. They're like Raka Raka or like Kane Pixels, that type of vibe. So I watched Fly Me to the Earth. That was good. And then I feel like I watched this before, but then I rewatched it again. It was Milk and Cereal. And I'm like, wow. And this was early in the morning. It's like 4 right now. And because I did plan on like writing like for 4. And my phone was going off. So I was like, okay, I gotta get up. And I felt like an eerie dread of like my posts and whatnot. I'm like, ugh, am I being like too much even in my own posts when it comes to watching like Milk and Cereal? But then it just got me in like a headspace of just like writing horror stuff. So I'm going to go about my day, but I think what I'm going to do here as well is just like have a little segment of just like pitching horror movie ideas. And it's one of those things where like I could put it on Threads, and I think I can't because there's like a cap on like how many words you can really say. But maybe I'll just put like little like bits and like summaries of like cool like movie ideas. I don't know, but I will talk about it when I go park my car in the my apartment. So yeah. Also, one more thing. Sorry. The walk was nice. And just walking outside after like 4 a.m. with no one really out is like kind of cool. And it's raining, so that's a vibe. Also, I'm just like in an eerie state in my mind where I'm like, ooh, I watched a horror film, but at the same time, like, ooh, I don't know. But yeah. Second thought, I didn't actually go to my apartment. What I did was I bought McBomies, and I got a Big Mac and a McGriddle. And I didn't get a drink. I might get a drink here and then eat. And I think that's it. I wouldn't really review. I would say, you know, I did my sausage McGriddle rating. It's how it is. I would imagine the breakfast is fine. Yeah, I would say prediction rating only. Like a 7 out of 10. I saw this movie review really first off of like the Milk and Cereal horror film, the short film on YouTube. And it was like female like talking about it. I'm not gonna show the clip, you know, it's just a vibe. And she was like, man, this movie is really great. Like it was like always like it didn't leave any crumbs left on the ground. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna rate this like an 8 or 9. It's like, no, it's a 7. And I'm like, 7 out of 10. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like when you say something like that, like it left no crumbs on the table, I feel like you give it like an 8. You give it an 8. Maybe it's like 9. I think it feels like 9 to 10 are like fundamental things. See, I've done my rating systems, bro. Every person's rating system is different, but I feel like they should lean towards like a fundamental scale, even if you're going like reverse order or not. That's just me. I'm gonna get some water and drink some. I gotta admit one thing. This guy over here, he's performance arting right now. You know, just like, you know, with those type of people where you're just like, they're fake reading a book. I feel like he's just like, cigar next to his car. And I'm like, I feel like I should go up to him. Because I was walking past because I got my water. And then he's just like there, chilling, you know, vibing, smoking. And I'm like, wow. is this your car? And it's like, yeah, I imagine like, yeah, this is my whatever type of car. That's the vibe. Anyhow, I'm going to not review. I'm going to watch Wenbu while I eat or something and get my brain going. Okay, we're actually going to do it. We're back at the corner shot right now. Look at their butters. Their butters are like, oh, this is a nice shot. This is not, I swear. I swear it's not what you think. And then there's hot cake syrup. There is, oh, the Holy Grail. And then, when you open it, it's like a tray. It's a weird, there's like push pin thingies. You push it up, I think. And then you have a plate. And it opens up like so. Like, wow. It's a tray. And there's like grooves on it. Okay. I'm gonna eat it now. I'm gonna eat it. Butter my biscuit. Okay. This is like, it says whipped butter. Okay. And then syrup. Okay, I'm gonna taste it now. This is what it looked like. Obviously, I gotta show everything I do. Okay. Then I'm going to this. Guys, chat! Can I be a streamer? Chat! I don't know. Okay, pancakes are pancake. The syrup feels artificial. And the whipped butter melts, but it's more like a whipped cream. Which is, wow, yeah, it's whipped butter. Go figure. Well, it's not like a butter taste. It's like a whipped cream taste. Maybe there's lingering butter taste. I give that a solid 7. That's a 7. Okay. The egg. Tastes like a basic egg. Nothing fancy. Like a scrambled, folded, decent 7. Sausage patty. Tastes like a sausage patty. It's giving a 6 out of 10. It's not revolutionary. It's, but, like, would I eat it again? It's one of those things where, like, you just have one patty, and I'm like, I'm good. And then the biscuit. Butter my biscuit on the pancake. Biscuit is fluffy. The biscuit doesn't feel like when you eat it, it soaks up all the moisture in your mouth. It doesn't feel dry. 7 out of 10. Overall, it's giving 7 out of 10. That is all. Okay, I finally got my things. Wow. So, we back here again to the OvertheBrick. Now it's morning. I know. And guess what I got? So when I went up there, the door was open, and then it was a different guy. And he's like, when I just went up, he's like, oh, he just knew. And I'm like, whoa. I got this. Yeah, this is for me. And then this one is for Abnell. This guy. I don't know who this guy is, but it's green. And then secondly, this one. Okay, hear me out. Okay, this is for my cooking. Watch on the go. And then this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna probably open this one, but I won't open these ones because I'm gonna try to motivate myself to do my homework and my independent, like finish those, and then I will open them if I want. But I'm gonna wrap this one up, and then when I wrap it up, I'm going to give it to Abnell. So just here's the, this is like OP12, I think. So it was the latest one, but not like the previous latest one, because currently it's 12. So yeah, because I know he likes One Piece. I think that was it. What I did after I ate my food, I took a nap. Actually, it went through my system, and then I woke up again, and I didn't really do homework. I just chilled out until it was now currently 2. So yeah, I did it, boys. I gave him the gift. I wasn't crying. I was more or less trying to pick my words. I didn't stumble on my words. Good thing I practiced on my way driving back. And I rolled down the window. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's dark in here. That's the first thing I said. And then I did my whole spiel like, here's your 2 gifts. I don't know if you're gonna really like this gift more than the other gift. I've been into this specifically, so if you like it or not, I don't know. But overall, I wanted to say that I'm grateful for our friendship for these 3 years, and especially like through open world, being first like connection and like monthly movie night and whatnot, that we don't lose sight of stuff. And then I was sort of getting a little bit weepy, like don't feel like you're alone. And then I'm like, okay, wait, let me backtrack again, because I'm like, I'm thinking in general, like with like other people and whatnot, that no matter what you do in your career, like Digimon was meant for networking, you know, like whatnot. And he's like, oh, like, overall, and I'm like, no. But then we hugged, and then it was like, whatever you're doing in your life, that I hope is very successful. And like, I'm talking with Nia, because Nia's like Puerto Rican, and I'm like, wow. And he said some stuff, and then similar to that vein of like, well, yeah, it's kind of lonely, but now we got friends. So yeah. And I said like, see you next week, and I'm like, yeah. So overall, that was definitely worth it. I don't feel like crying. I feel like every time I do those types of things, I feel like my chest just expands, but it expands in a good way. It's like almost like an empty like release way, where like there was like a pressure valve, and then I released the air out of it, and I'm like, whoa, I did it. So that's all I'm gonna do and say, and yeah, that's how much I cherish people. Okay, I only did that more so with him because I knew he was gonna leave for Puerto Rico, and I'm gonna see the other people. So it's not like it's so different for me to do that with other people, but it's more so just something that I'm like, I'm gonna do recommendations for other people that I've worked with. So that's just like the bonus gift. But I think just like tangible to like, you know, just like I just want to do that just out of friendship wise. So now I'm gonna probably talk about my horror concepts, because I've been thinking about that now, and I want to talk about it. Yeah, okay. I'm also probably just today as well move my videos to the Google Drive. Let's see where that takes me. What's up, guys? Welcome to an unboxing of WiXoss. I don't even know, I'm in later episodes. I'll probably do an unboxing of this one, and I'll probably do another unboxing of this one. But currently, just to get myself working on another assignment, here's this one. Why do I have this? I was familiar with WiXoss. I feel like it seems popular, and I'm also gonna keep this very short of a video. I'll try not to be much of a tangent like how I do with my Gotcha on the Go thing, but otherwise, I'm ready. I'm ready for these. I've done this for Pokemon cards, so it's nothing new. Let's just get straight into it. This is a smaller pack, so that's why I feel like I'm more adequate in like just trying to draw this. I also am going to probably wash my hands after this. Wash my hands before. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'll wash my hands before this just to... But overall, I don't know what this game is specifically about as much as I know that it's like just like females, and then like they have like attachment cards and just like the design of it. I'm like, ooh. And the little like rainbow effects. So yes, that was my impulse versus trying to actually get the One Piece TCG. Because this feels like a niche thing, but a lot of people like it. That if people would get into it. So, I'm gonna watch my and I'm just gonna get into it. We're off the gate. I got my glove. You're like, why don't you like watching it? Look at that dust, bro. There's dust on this, man. Okay. It's been sitting on someone's shelf. Let me just zoom it. This is my light source. The way I open this box is kind of real. Ow. It's very real. Ow. You got this. Wait, what? Oh, there's tape. Do I have scissors? Let me see. I do. Nathaniel with the gifted. Let me just do this. This is why I have a barrage of stuff on my keychain. So let's just look in the back here. What are we expecting? Well, we're expecting... Can I just zoom in? This is what we're expecting. Oh, that's nice. Look at this. From this. So in X0, X1, X2, X3, that's 0, that's drive, that's shield, machine 0, machine wing / machine smash, trigger of victory, gems the blessed, key, cargo code ride, Baphomet, Doom Evil, Lancelot, Crimson General, Muska Natural Planet, Gullwing, Acel, Devil Singer, Phantom, Aquatic Beast, Obelisk Code, Anti, Axie Light Arm, Servant Number, Burn Calamity. And also the full foil construct deck, 52 just 52 cards, I guess. And then for 1 player / 12, I don't know after these, but okay, that's what they are. Yeah, let's just go. Now I can open this. So when you open it, you get... Ooh, you also get a paper. This is the play sheet, I guess. Oh, okay, this is paper. And it's the play mat. With all the rules that I get to learn. Okay, that's actually bad because I don't know how to play this game. So I'll learn from this. I'll dissect what this is. And look, see, here's the cards. Which, based off this focus, there's so many details on it. This is like what one of the cards look like, so it's kind of neat. We'll put it off to the side here, and then we'll start opening. Yeet. Okay, so we have the 1 foil card. Okay. I tear it. I'm like, no. That would be so bad. Okay. This is a nice card. Very cool. I like the rainbow effect. I think that's what I appreciate about specifically like cards in general, trading cards, like how they go about things. Whether if it is the way they do the card itself. And then guess what? Guess what? Boom! We put it in a plastic. We put it in another protective seal. It's like, this is not how you put it in. I feel that. No, it's supposed to go like this. Wait. I ruined it. It's been a while. It's been a hot second. This is me like, ah, okay, wait. Okay, I'll be back to you. Okay, so the top goes with this, and then you do this, inserting it. So that way, when it doesn't slide out, it slides out from here. There we go. Dude, I'm now so particular about this now. But no, yay, look, we got it. It's great. Yummy. Is that on the card itself? Wait. Oh no, this is just on the plastic. Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm such a stickler now. I'm like, I'm not like a type of guy like that, you know. Okay. I'm holding on too much. There you go. Awesome. There's that one. Then we have these two. We're gonna go through the same process. I'm like struggling. I'm sorry. I have to go through tape. Oh, easy. So I think this is like their decks. This is how big their deck is. I think for a normal card, like a Pokemon card, similar in size, it would be like this. Like that thing compared to like that. So I guess that's your frame reference, or like if it's like a thumb, I don't know. And it's like 2 thumbs, or my hand, I don't know. I can't really do much, but that's what they look like. So I'm gonna open this one and see where that goes. Okay, right off the gate, I like the little confetti. It's like firework design. Because you see in this one has more of a angular design than this one, the rainbow effect one. It's kind of cool. How do I open this? There's a stripe. I'm feeling it out. Oh, okay. There's a string. Ooh. I'm gonna put it on top of the plastic. So this one's off. This one's going off to the side. Close it. Put this down a little bit. And see what we get. So, damn. Okay. I'm just gonna sleeve these. I'm not gonna really put them in the booster yet, but we're not gonna deeply analyze these. We're just gonna be like, here's the art. So I'll probably put music over this, just to vibe out. So enjoy. I gotta admit, okay, just really quick. These are nice. Crush one of your opponent's life cloth, then add target. Yeah, but see, like there's like these would be like similar to like my event cards that I'm trying to do, or domain cards formatting. So cool, so cool. Oh, it's a different backing. I didn't realize that. There's so much of her. I just see this. Like, I'm like, okay. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Cargo. The rest of them are just cargo. Shout out, I guess. Shout out to Cargo. I don't know who Cargo is. No, there's another. Okay, how many is there? Dude, just without knowing the context of this game, I'm just like, yeah, Cargo exists. Baphomet. Ooh. Cargo with the 5 gifted. Okay. I guess it's 4. Did I say it was gonna be like 4 of each? I feel like I've read it, but I didn't really. Ooh. And the backing's different. I'm not. You see, look, this one's a black backing. Interesting. And just like the way it, oh, there's 2 of these. Just the way it pushes out of the natural like formatting, like her wings coming out is just very nice. Her feet coming out, like the text having like a white bold icon over like a darker scene than like a more colorful one is like so different. Very nice. But yeah, from that draw, I think my favorite one has to funny one, Cargo. The first time I was like, what? I really like which one was it? That one, this one's the most dynamic. She's like looking down and arched in a way, bro. But I would say my favorite currently is like this one. It's giving like no game, no life kind of like the colorization. But I think I'm leaning towards this one because this is the one that I did see an unboxing and I was like, wow, look at this. And I'm like, I need to get to, like once I saw like this type of card and it's like in this format, I'm like, okay, maybe. And also like this one's pretty bigger, but I think this one just like out of like just the 3 of them, it's just nice. And it's a cover art, so you know, when is that? I'm going to put this off to the side and then unbox this one now. I finally established my format. Like this is like bare bones format of like trying to figure out. Oh, okay, this is not just like the one and only one. See, look, it has a black backing. They're very different, which is interesting. I feel like I was expecting more of like a Pokemon, like more randomization of the cards, maybe when I open the other packs, but overall, yeah, we got more of the Musica vibes. Ooh, a new one. Devil Stinger Phantom Aquatic Beast. It's like, what does that even mean? What is that? imagine a domain card like I was Isekai and doing them. Kidding. No. Oh, okay. This one actually looks nice. See, I love a dynamic pose. If you give me a dynamic pose, it's kind of neat. My favorite card overall, as of now, when it comes to my card game, has to be the dragon card that I have. I forgot her name. But man, oof. Just the wings and the demeanor that I drew her in, and then it's like awesome. Obelisk. I'm probably gonna read the descriptions on my own, maybe, after, because I feel like it would just make this like a longer video than it needs to be. Other than that, Sash, lightly armed. I like that card. This one's also a simple one. When paying costs, this card can be used as red or black. See, I don't know what that means. They do have colors. Like this one's a red and purple. The other one was purple. So maybe there's a color distinction. Whoa. Okay, servant number might be my favorite. She's giving like, but her face be like, You may discard this card to prevent damage from a single LRIG attack. Interesting. Burning Calamity. These are very rainbow-like, which I'm not so used to when it comes to like cards. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just throwing them in because I'm like, they're just copies. But okay, let me. And that was all of them. Hope you enjoyed that little unboxing. That felt more easily revealing than the rest of them. But yeah. This. So again, thank you so much. Signing off with this. Okay, as promised, I'm gonna talk about my scary stories. Ooh, or like my ideas that I thought about in the morning. So just a full recap. Also, let's do a quick ranker. Let's say the ranker is a solid A, B, C, D, S. S for spending money. Ding! Sunday Nobody, Squidward, S for Squidward, I don't know. That's all you gotta need to know. Okay. Anyhow, since my iPad has not been charging, I forgot about that, and I can't really look at my phone because it's on my notes, I'm going to use my computer that's behind here and just tell you about these story concepts. Notably, I didn't really look up a lot. Maybe there are movies that are like this, but just the ideas and the concept of these stories enveloped my brain, and I was like, oh my gosh, let's get right into it. So here's like my film universe genre of movies that I feel like is just a cool concept that I feel like has never been done, that I've not looked up. So maybe it has been. I'm not like that much of a horror movie goer or like watching horror movies a lot, but here we are. So the horror film concepts. So this first one I got from watching a Facebook reel about someone doing like a cold call and like pressuring like a recruiter, like, hey, out of like the 609 planes, like I'm here, I'm just reaching out to you. Let me know if anything. We can keep in touch, keep something chill, 15 minutes. So and so, like that sort of stalker way. Like, I know your Gmail is da da da. I'm like, damn, that's scary. So this first movie, I wanted to be called Hiring. And Hiring, the aspect of the cold call where how people can scrape and find your information. And it's based on a serial killer track record of what is between suspense, stressful to awkward horror. Sorry about the grammar if I said things. I was typing this out on my notes app. And what I mean by like a serial killer's like track record, I'm thinking about like the YouTube video Milk and Cereal from Bad Idea. And it's like that, but like with like the cold calling aspect of like hiring people. An example is not the premise, but a vibe of like a Milk and Cereal. I'm reading my notes. Okay, and then my next movie is called. Did I finish it here? Okay. My second movie would be called Hiatus. Before, it was called Premise. And this is found footage of someone taking a hiatus and does a recap of what has happened in their life in a psychological thriller lens of betrayal, fights, and mind-melding curiosity of catching up with a parasocial friend, being you, the viewer, on someone you hardly know. What I mean by this, like, took a hiatus, you know, there's those social influencers, and then they finally come back and like better than like, let me show you my life and how it's transpired. Similar to Milk and Cereal again, but it's like the vibe of like, wow, crazy. Here's my third movie. Again, these two were just Milk and Cereal recaps, but it's been my mind. Third one would be called Classic, and it's a horror movie about getting friends and then starting a cult. A cult classic, not an uprising, uplifting movie, but a start of a horror-defining genre. And I feel like just that, I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. Like, you have friends, unlikely friends, but then, like, somehow you, like, want to, like, out of the blue, summon a demon. You're like, what? Crazy. And, like, in a short, almost, like, Breakfast Club horror movie. Okay, that was my third one. And then my next one would be called, fourth one, Stalker. Termed with like a shadow of a doubt, or the movie calling Figment. Like a figment of my imagination. Just my imagination. Like that vibe. So I wrote the mental condition of feeling clinically stalked upon the shadow of a doubt with what prolonged isolation and recording can do to a human being of self-stalker preservation. Example, where every light switch turn is heavy in gambling, like feeling like a silhouette or vibe is off. And I think after just going down like a rabbit hole of like thinking about things and then just like keeping that in my head and like feeling like, wait, is someone out there listening in or like thinking about it, it's kind of that vibe. And when you're living alone, you're sort of just like with your thoughts, and then you're like, is someone living with me? Is someone there? That vibe. And even showing the slow buildup of how a figment can manifest like a virus cell in the shadows. And then the example was Skinamarink. This is the one I had to look up because I put my example at Kid Phone. But I watched the FNAF movie, and just how, okay, a little spoilers, I'm sorry. No, if you've seen just in general the FNAF movie, like the animatronics just like pop out of nowhere, like behind the scenes, like, you know, obviously like it's the fridge, and then when you close it, they're there. But I'm like, they're animatronics. Don't you like hear them? Like, I don't know, crazy. But yeah, they could be giving Big Bird vibes. I was scared of that, but yeah, let's pop. Okay, here's the next one. I think this is the 5th one. This would be called Feed, and it's a single footage POV film that creates tension of direct target stakes towards the viewer with how they're giving content, and by the end, left wondering what's been curated on their feed is something more horrifying to even comprehend, not leaving any room to breathe, feeling like you're just a camera staring at colors coming from extraterrestrial life type of Jordan Peele horror. Yes, that makes sense. I think what I was thinking about is like if this was like my phone, but the phone is actually the movie screen, and it's from a POV of like whatever you're doing. You don't really know about the person's life, but you only know through the lens of like how they're using social media and seeing social media. Maybe you get to know the relationship through like the type of feed that they do, but then the horrifying aspect of it is that the extraterrestrial life is beaming that information to you to like break you in some solace, and then it does some capacity. So similar to the ending of like Milk and Cereal. Everything leads to Milk and Cereal. But just like that vibe of like, okay, something's wrong, and it's like, wow. Maybe the extraterrestrial life is a comment on like the government system, I don't know. Or like the idea of skepticism where it's like feed now being like AI generated and like the ads being like that. Or the idea of like the earth is flat or something, or like there's aliens in Area 51, like that type of vibe, you know, like what is being fed to you. Okay, so number 6, it would be called Gaslight. Just after that, and it would be where smoking got a whole lot more deceptive. That's all I wrote, and I'm like, okay, great. So that was that one. I think also just with Gaslight, it's sort of like this, maybe like nicotine, not like virus, but like entity that's within like ghost lamps since like the Victorian era, or just like back then when Gaslight started happening. And that's why like specter ghosts exist or feel like people like have possession. The 7th one, I eat chips, so sorry if my voice is groggy, would be called There's No Horror, whereas it's not a cult, but similar to Midsummer, where there's no jump scare, no gore. Okay, it's not similar to Midsummer, has some jump scares and gore, but like the vibe, you know, like the happy vibe, like ha 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 ha, where there's no jump scare, no gore, just eerie tension of what people seem fine when your expectations are that something bad is going to happen, hopefully not getting old in the process. What I mean by not getting old, it's not like repetitive, you know, scare horror. It's like, it's to the point where it's like, it's unsettling horror. And the unsettling horror is that baseline that it goes all the way through. You know, you don't have to be scared, you just have to like linger on the like that type of vibe. You know, it's like, but like it's sort of more happy and eerily kid-friendly type of horror, where it's like, hey friends, let's go to the room. Like that type of vibe. Anyway, I'm gonna have fun editing that. Okay. Number 8, it would be called Fears. And before it was called Face Your Fears. And this one's like, you get drugged to forget about what you signed up for. The innate trial of overcoming a fear for worse trauma, psychological conditions, and heavy character growth. I saw in the movie theater also an ad of like Chris Pratt as a police officer, and then he established this like AI program to like have like a jury of like, I think like a week or something, or like under 24 hours prove that you are not guilty. And it's sort of like that POV thing. It's like, wait, where am I? I'm like, I don't remember anything. So that's what I was thinking about this one. But like, you signed up for wanting to face your fear, and knowing that you're facing your fear is worse. So just trying to overcome it with character growth. Interesting. Few years. Okay. Okay, my 9th movie. I made 10 movies or 11 movies. My 9th movie we called, or 8th. I think I was just 8th. Okay, 8 or 9. It's called Detached, and it explores from an outside perspective a couple's relationship of will they, won't they coworkers. No stalker or killer motivation on the main character. It's just like you just have this POV of like a rom-com. It's like will they, won't they. They're not trying to kill each other either. It's sort of just like an actual rom-com. Then it turns into a toxic sign of self-reflection of where you're at in your life, which pushes your perspective on the will of they, won't they, to what you want from them and not want for yourself. So it's sort of that parasocial relationship sort of feel where you're like, if you see them dress a certain way, maybe you want to also dress a certain way, and then but it's crossing almost the line of like stalker, like, but they're coworkers, so you don't necessarily are stalking them. You're like working in the same floor as them. Maybe you get to know them more. Maybe it's like the relationship is going downhill in some capacity, and you're like, no, say, and it's like that type of horror, that switch of horror, where it's like, I want you together forever. And then maybe it does go into horror where like he traps them in the basement or something, and it's like forever and ever and ever. And maybe he did a whole setup, them getting together, like going to their wedding or whatnot. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. And trying to recreate that for his significant other, which is, that's crazy. Or like when he meets someone at the wedding, and it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, number 9 or 10, I don't even remember. We called Storefront. When I was trying to get to my car because the garage stuff at the apartment were closed and working, I had to walk up early in the morning to get to my car, as you remember. And this is what it was. So it was Ben Franklin. So it was like, in the early morning, a person finds themselves passing a storefront with its lights open, and one person in the store stalking them in a contained stalking fashion. So when you pass through the store, there's like a glass window. The lights are on a little bit because it's like there. But then maybe you see someone working. And you're like curious, like, huh. And then they turn around. And they wave. And they continue working. And you're like, okay. And then you go into your car, right? Sure. And you look through your window. And then they're looking directly at you through that mirror. You're like, and you turn around, but they're just in the store. Like, honestly, it's not even gonna be a jump scare where like you turn around and they're in your car. No, it's like in a contained store. The horror is that like at a certain time of the time, like maybe 3 a.m., they're there. But then when the store is open, it's like they're not there. And then maybe the person investigates, like, hey, have you seen this person? It's like, who is that person? It's like, I don't know. And it's almost like the Shining aspect where like, and then at the ending, it's sort of like the photo frame and you see them like working and then you working there and you're like, ooh, I don't know. And then the last one is, wait, I'm gonna pause. So the last one, the 11th one, I think, would be sort of Dune-like, but a horror, which is like, why haven't horror has done that before? I have no name for this. I just wrote down the concept. A space horror SCP Gothic Gladiator containment series of trying to get out of containment and surviving through the process. So maybe you're like similar to the other one of like fears where you're like drugged and you wake up. And I imagine this would be like confinement or containment, like that one SCP animated series where it's sort of like just that type of thing where you're like get ready to rumble, and then you're in a room and then you see like the Skinamarink telephone in front of you. You're like, what is that? It's like, hello, Nathaniel. I see you've in a pickle. And you're like, what the? And you're wearing an orange jumpsuit. Yeah, it's all containment. It's like, you're here to be processed, to be filed, to see if you're worth driving for. And then you get to like do, and you see all these SCP entities, and you see like the one with the sword or something like. You're like. That would be interesting, wouldn't that? Like a mini series. It's just a mini series. It's not like something big. Maybe it can become something big, but it's sort of like are you not entertained? But it's not SCP-like of containment. It's just the horror aspect of the SCP containment system. Like there's this government, and it's like the underground ring of the government system. Maybe it's like with the aliens or something. Like they force aliens to like fight or something to like understand their biology, understand their ethic, whatnot, and the fight is survival in that capacity, and you're like, whoa, and maybe you have to face like Slenderman or something, like in like a room that like makes trees and whatnot, and then he wakes up, but then at the break he's like Slenderman just like chilling about. It's like, well, so with the horror aspect though, I think it would be very interesting to have like an action horror film. Maybe there is action horror films. I need to probably look it up and I'll be like, wow, that is an action horror film, but not like in a like. That's why I said like gothic, like it's not like Wednesday vibes and like on Netflix, or it's not even like a love letter to horror like Frankenstein. It's sort of like on Netflix as well, like Guillermo del Toro, but it's more or less like a horror where the creatures are horrifying. And it's not like a comedy as well. It's like you are here with them, the character, wanting them, cheering on for them to survive. Because it's all the lunatics, it's all the parasites, and all like the anomalies, which are just like Lovecraftian, like even, that are contained in the space. And the imaginability of how they're like, it'd be crazy. Like if you just see like a big containment orb that houses Cthulhu when he's sleeping, just in his orb, contained. And then, because if you know, I think in Cthulhu, I did this for my animatic, that like when Cthulhu wakes up, sort of like all of existence will be like wiped out. So sort of that just like thing like of stakes. I'm like, what is this? That's not the vibe. But yeah, that's it. So I don't feel like this actually would be like an S tier day. Okay, I think realistically, just for like the moment, the hit basis, it feels more like a C day. So I will put it at an A. But I didn't do my homework, so I'll set myself up tomorrow to do that. Because I feel like I just taking this as like a rest period, so maybe it's an S. I'll keep it as an S because I gave the gift and whatnot, but also spending. So I'm gonna stop spending. I'm gonna stop spending. As you can tell, I'm gonna stop spending. What did I learn today? Stop spending. That's about it. And also send. That's to my videos to my Google Drive. That'd be great. Also, Sunday Nobody or Nobody Sunday. They stationed in Seattle. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of cool. It's kind of those weird things where you're like, wow, really? Sure, okay. I'll stop talking now.